Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another breakfast with Blaha. And today I'm having fat-free Greek yogurt, almond butter, and milled flax seeds. All right, let's talk about everybody's favorite exercise, the bench press. The one big movement you can do laying flat on your back. All right, we get over to the bench. Everyone always says things like, well, the lockout. If you're weak at the lockout of your bench, it's clearly your triceps, right? That's what they say. Well, the truth is that's not actually the case. And the thing that people need to understand when they start talking about weak points, right? Weak muscles in an exercise. If you are not videoing yourself to look, you do not know where your weak points are. Because where you feel isn't always true. Like how many guys say, oh, I struggle with the lockout. They're like right here, right? They're at the midway point. They're halfway through the lift. Talking about their lockout, right? They're 8 inches from the lockout. Right. Because going on the way up is a weak point, right? That's not your lockout. I mean, there are guys who literally stick halfway through. They miss lifts 8 inches off their chest. Talk about my lockout. Oh, my lockout's weak. Your lockout's like the last bit, okay? Right there. You get all the way near the top, and then you strain. That's your lockout. Now, by the way, this bar path that you just saw is not a tricep weakness, by the way, on your lockout. So let's again understand there's a difference between right off the chest, middle, and the lockout. Right off the chest, what do we mean by off the chest? You get the bar about 3 inches off your chest, 4 inches off your chest, maybe it sticks and you miss the lift. Okay. Honestly, that's probably your front delts and lats. Probably your front delts and your lats. So, what do we mean the rest of the lockout? Well, the lockout. If you are watching on the camera and your lockout, right, is missed here, that is your pecs. You need bigger teddies. You need bigger teddies. Do more dumbbell work. You could do dips. You could even do flies if you had to. You could just do more wide grip benching. Right? In other words, bring up your chest. You need more pec. You'll say, well, why isn't the triceps involved? Of course the triceps involved with the lockout. But the triceps didn't fail you. It was your pecs. Keep in mind, the chest is the primary mover. So what do we mean by a tricep weakness? You're coming up, this happens. You see where the bar is? Down here, versus you're coming up and you do this and you miss lockouts. The bar goes towards your face. And then your shoulders hurt. It's almost always an indicator too. Your shoulders hurt after a missed lift or a really grindy lockout where the bar goes towards your face. With a bench, looks like this. Bar comes up a little bit. There's a little bit of a, like this. But it shouldn't be coming up very much. What's happening there? Well, what's happening is that your triceps are not strong enough to lock it. Because keep in mind, what locks the weight? If we're above like this, that's pec and tricep. Pec and tricep. Because your triceps are used at the bottom of the bench too. So on a max bench, your long head of your tricep gets really involved. So what's going on with the bar drifting up? Compensatory strength. When your triceps are not strong enough to lock it, we get into a position to where we can use more front delt. Then you are trying to use your front delts, your anterior deltoid, to lock the weight. All right, this is to compensate for your weak triceps. If your front delts are stronger than your triceps, and if you have weak triceps, that will usually be the case because you're doing a lot of pressing. You tend to have big front delts. They're taking over. It is because the triceps can't do it. We not only struggle with the lockout, but the bar drifts. Okay. How many guys will do that though? And then they'll say, oh, I felt my shoulders a lot. My shoulders must be the weak link. No, you feel your shoulders because that bar path is not good for your shoulder health. It's using your delts, but you are straining things in your shoulder. But it's using your delts to lock it. If you have really strong triceps, you can keep the bar further down. All right, and it's not going to be a pure straight line. There is going to be that little bit. And the more advanced you are, usually that pop off the chest, the bar comes up, lower down. Novice lifter, that path occurs higher up. But when it's very pronounced and you have a grindy lockout, that is triceps. So if you have a weak lockout and you can keep the bar down over your low chest or above your middle chest, again, this is why you have to film this. Okay, that's pec. It's your pecs. If the bar drifts towards your face, it's triceps. But it can also be, what else? It can be your upper back too. Probably the combination. A weak upper back will cause that bar to drift also, because we can't stabilize it. Keep the ideal bar path to use our triceps correctly. And that's another thing we have to think about. We'll talk about stabilizers. Well, what's the role of these stabilizers oftentimes? Well, if you have a weak stabilizer muscle on a lot of the lifts that we do, we can't maintain the optimal bar path because of it. Right? It's like we discussed on the squat, the importance of hamstrings and your erectors to help you stabilize it. They help you stabilize it, but they don't help lift the weight. So that's what's going on here. It's dependent upon the bar path, not just where you stick. And that's the things that we have to look at, and that's why you need to film yourself. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.